Good morning. Howdy. We're back for another stream. It's so interesting to me that I've actually kind of enjoyed doing these type of streams. What's up, Network Bib? Because like in person, I'm not a big chatter, but I enjoy doing these office hour streams. They're actually pretty fun. The constant competition to be first. I wouldn't think being first to one of my streams would ever matter to anybody. Whoops. But you know, life is full of surprises. I don't know how you land here first every time, Network Bib. You must have like notifications turned on or something. Also, like, is this what you like? What's your schedule like? Do you just every day after school you just come home and just turn on the YouTubes? Cause you're in where are you, Network Bib? You in India or was it the Netherlands? I can't remember where you're at. But it's like the evening for you. Yeah, Monster Energy. Yeah, they make good energy drinks. I I uh I've been using those in the morning to get my caffeine kick in. They're pretty good. I prefer Ghost energy drinks, but Ghosts are more expensive, and they also don't make a 12-ounce can. So Netherlands. Okay, yeah, Netherlands. So I guess you just every day you just come home from school and hop on the YouTubes and just wait for people you follow to post content or go live. Which isn't. I mean, it's not a bad gig. It's over 4 p.m. here. Yeah, so you're like you're in the after school hours. How'd you learn how? So in the Netherlands, do they make everybody learn English? Like, how's your English so good? Hello, Stefan. How are you doing? Nice. Who? That's wild. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, Glitch Gamers? It's been a minute, man. How you doing? How is life? Network Bib, you need to English at your first school. The first school has 8 years, and in high school, I think you guys call that. I need to learn more English, like the writing rules. Oh, okay. Well, your English is pretty good, Network Bib. So that's pretty cool. I can't believe I can't. That's so weird to me that other like around the world, like it actually what it reminds me is how privileged like Americans are because, I mean, we do have to take some foreign languages in high school. Like at least when I went to high school, there was like a requirement you had to take like 2 years of a foreign language as like electives, but like nobody expects you to actually like use it. Like you just pass the class and then you move on with your life. So I mean, it's kind of crazy that it seems like a lot of other places in the world, it's sort of like a mandatory thing that like you not only learn your native language, but then you also learn English, which is pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call yourself awkward, Network Bib. I just think that's like that's just I mean I think that's one of the things people often forget when they're talking to other people from other countries when they speak English is like I see this a lot with the way people act towards President Zelensky from Ukraine because his English isn't like the best, and I feel like that skews how people think of him or look at him. And I think people have to remember that like if you if you find yourself to be a very eloquent communicator in English, if I forced you to talk to other people in, you know, Ukrainian or Dutch, you probably wouldn't sound all that great either, you know? Network Bib, English, German, and French. Wow. That's intense. Very impressive though. I mean, it's super impressive that people are able to learn more than one language. Yeah, I took Spanish in high school, and my mom's family is from Honduras in Central America, so she speaks fluent Spanish. My sister ended up learning to speak Spanish, so she speaks fluently as well. Me and my brother don't though. We both took Spanish in high school, so we know a little bit. Like we can kind of get bits and pieces of information, but we're kind of a letdown to our Honduran heritage. My mom's mom, before she passed, she would always give us shit about that, about not being able to speak Spanish. Well, Network Bib, that's not cool. Any teacher that you would liken to Hitler is probably not the best teacher. Although I find German to be a really like pretty language. It can it can sound kind of harsh sometimes, I feel like, but whenever I hear people talk it like my wife's stepmom's family is German, and when one of her, let's see, it'd be my wife's stepmom's like grandma passed away, and we went to their funeral, and she had like three other sisters who they all grew up in Germany, and they married American soldiers and then came to the United States. But at the funeral, they all spoke or gave like speeches or eulogies or whatever in German, um, and that was pretty cool. Stefan, you should research your heritage. Maybe you have some Balkan blood. I actually don't think I do. So I did the 23andMe. My wife and me both did 23andMe. Gosh, it must have been 8 years ago now. Which I guess 23andMe is actually going bankrupt. So I'm not sure where our data is going to end up. But I was looking at it the other day, and I think the majority of my DNA is like Western European. I can actually look at it right now.
Wait, Dad. Why Diaco left is because he's getting ready for more stages.
Oh,
The
interesting.
first stage just happened and shot up and damaged the sky a bit.
Oh,
And then the next one is going to be even
Oh, that's good to know.
Like one bit of sky.
Oh, okay. I like it.
It's like a fire.
I think that sounds like a good theory. My youngest is home from school today. That's who I'm talking to in the background. Network Bib, you don't think it is pretty when he is shouting to you? Yeah, that doesn't sound pretty either. Revillo, hi, how old are you? Not Rev. Oh, sorry, Revillo, hi. I wasn't asking you how old you are, but hello, Revillo. Network Bib, how old are your kids? I have a first and a third grader, so 9 and 7. Oh, I was looking at my ancestry report. So, my ancestry report says I'm 86% European. 77% of that is Northwestern European. 41% of that is British Irish. Yeah, I don't think there's any Balkan. I do have 10% Indigenous American, which I think is actually the Honduran. But yeah, I'm kind of a mutt. I'm kind of like a European mutt. with some Honduran mixed in there. You should do a podcast with your kids. Yeah, no, my kids would probably tell me it needs to be about video games. Stefan, you could have some Balkan blood. It's Central EU. I guess that's fair. Let's see. I was gonna see what is this green area? I have 0.9% Central Asian, which is like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. Yes.
You haven't done one thing every YouTuber has done.
What?
A house tour.
I have not done a house tour on my channel. Yeah, my kids' advice to me on YouTube is they tell me I should make more streams with video games. That I'd get more subscribers that way. I mean, they're probably not wrong. I'm not probably a particularly interesting person to watch play Call of Duty because I'm not that good. Oh, I didn't get to tell you guys this. So yesterday I was working on that Model Context Protocol server, and I think some of you guys were here for that stream. Yeah. Yeah. I tell my oldest all the time that it's time for him to get a job. You know? You gotta start paying rent. He just laughs at me. He says I have terrible dad jokes. I was gonna say I was working on that Model Context Protocol server yesterday, and I actually found a bug in another, in a API SDK that I wrote. I actually found a bug, my own bug, as a consumer of the thing I wrote. I found a mistake. It was when I got off stream. I was working on it off stream, and I was like, why is this not fucking working the way I thought it should? Well, turns out past Steven screwed up something for future Steven. It was one of those situations, you know how in a lot of method calls you're passing in positional parameters, and those positional parameters will also be the same type, right? So in this case I had an app ID and then another parameter that was the ID of the actual object, and I had just flipped those two. So I was passing the ID as the app ID and the app ID as the ID of the object. Really innocent, mistake. But it left me confounded for a little bit when I was working on the MCP side of it. There's actually a pattern. I don't know if you guys have heard of this pattern. There's actually a pattern called that's supposed to help prevent that type of issue when you're dealing with identifiers that are primitive value types, called strongly typed IDs. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. Which it kind of makes sense to me, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of extra work to implement it. And it doesn't, as I understand it, it doesn't play nice with a lot of ORMs. Let me see if I can find a strongly typed IDs. I think this is it's more of a C# thing, but you could implement it in really any language. Here's the Wikipedia article on it. Network Babe, you consumed the bug. I did consume the bug. But it was not your pet. Here's the pattern I'm talking about. If you guys are curious, I posted it in the chat. It's kind of an interesting concept, and it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, it would probably cause you a lot of heartaches if you're gonna use ORMs. It probably not heartache. You're just gonna have to do some extra work. Like, I think in Entity Framework, you have to create some kind of converter class that converts. Basically, it does the conversion from the strongly typed ID to the primitive value when it stores it in the database, and then when it comes from the database back into your application, it does the opposite, where it converts it from the primitive value type, like a GUID or a number, to your strongly typed class. Yeah, if you ate what was in the walls, man, you're not gonna last for very long. Fiberglass is some nasty stuff, man. You ever crawled around in like an attic? So am I the house, not the first house I grew up in, but the second house, like the house I grew up in during middle school and high school, there was a crawl space, like an attic space, and our internet, funny enough, was partly routed through the attic space. And so whenever there was internet issues, we would have to climb up in there. And man, you just get so freaking itchy. Yeah. Network Babe, you kind of have an interesting sense of humor. Has anyone ever told you that? Oh, also I have stand up at 10, so I'll probably be live till about 10 o'clock, and then I've got the stand up meeting. Anybody else have a stand up, and do they like their stand up? Curious, because I don't. I don't. So instead of doing stand up meetings, I much more prefer to have a weekly, basically 2 weekly meetings. One meeting happens at the beginning of the week that sets direction for the week, and then one meeting at the end of the week that does a review of the progress of that week. That just feels like a better meeting cadence, in my opinion, than the daily stand-up. Stefan, you do stand-up comedy? Nice. Tell us a joke. No stand-up comedy here. I wish that's what the stand-up was. I'm not very funny, man, honestly. Like, my wife is much funnier than I am. My kids are much funnier than I am. My brother is very funny. Network Babe, the music is a bit... Oh, I can turn it down a little bit. Or you just want different music. I guess hard could be translated a couple different ways. Different music, or do you mean too loud? because it is a loud. I turned it up a little bit louder than normal. Is stand up some sports class? You do jumping jacks? No, I don't know if network's being honest, but like hard in volume. Okay, I'll turn it down. This is where it's normally at. Is at 25 decibels. There you go. No, I figure you guys are just gaslighting me that you guys know what stand-ups are. You're just I think none of you guys are actually working, are you? So y'all are still like in school or trying to learn, so you don't know the pain of a daily stand-up yet, but it's coming to you. If you continue to pursue a career in technology in some shape. Honestly though, I've seen the daily stand-up grow even in like there's teams that I know of that are non-development related teams that have daily stand-ups. What's up, Kriv? How are you? Tell us a joke. Okay, I'll ask Claude to here. I'll just hold on one sec. One sec, I'm thinking of a joke as he types into Claude. My soul is... Hold on one sec. Crib. I think I mentioned yesterday about code reviewing, but could you code review one? Sure. Yeah, Crib. Yeah, send it in Discord. I'll be happy to. I think you're the 4th or 5th person I have on a list now. Okay, how about this one for jokes? Why don't scientists trust atoms? How about that? You guys tell me. I'll give you a minute. Yeah, go for it, Kriv. Or if you want to put it in the coding channel in the Discord server, that'd be fine too. Because they're weak as fuck. No. Because they make everything up. Get it? Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make everything up. I can't take credit for that one. That was Claude. That's pretty good though, right? Network bib. I don't know what stand up is. Oh, okay. So network bib, stand up here. I'm gonna send you the wiki because I always hate trying to explain ideas that have already been explained by much smarter people than me. But the basic idea is it's just a daily meeting where people basically tell what they're working on, if they have any blockers, or what they worked on yesterday, what they plan to work on, if they have any blockers. And then the idea is you're supposed to, as a team, help remove those blockers. It's part of, if you've ever heard of agile software development, that's kind of where it arose out of. Scrum, I think, uses it too. Here's the wiki on it. Claude has... I don't have any jokes. That's the thing. I don't tell jokes. What is the point of the stand-up? The reason why it is called a stand-up is because classically it's supposed to be a short meeting so you do it standing, everyone comes together like in a huddle, everyone goes around the circle, so to speak. What are you working on? What do you plan to work on? Is there anything preventing you from getting your work done? Your career? I don't think so, Stefan. Kriv, is that the right link you sent me in Discord? Because that looks like your overall GitHub. But is there a particular repo you're wanting me to look at? This caffeine is not getting rid of my headache. Oh, true. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, send me just the repo link. Here's something interesting that it was basically something I was talking about last night with some colleagues in a Discord, some coworkers in one of our Discords. So, with the rise of LLMs, there's this now really interesting thing about APIs, right? Like APIs were originally developed, most of them were originally built to be consumed by developers, right? By other software programs. And now we have this new thing where now LLMs want to consume these APIs. And so there's this really new interesting, I think, need for basically people to go back and look at existing APIs and basically think, okay, if an LLM wants to talk to this thing, or if this was built with LLM in mind of using it, how would we re-architect this, or how would we redo this? Because not all the APIs out there are really optimized for natural language. Like the fact that you use like IDs for everything in a lot of APIs, right? That's not really like most people don't talk about things in terms of IDs. Kriv. All right, let me look, Kriv. What is it? It's a seed finder? Oh, interesting. It's a WinForm app. What's window kill? Window kill? I don't even know what that is. Is that a game? Window kill is a twin stick shooter, but the game window itself is constantly moving in on you. Oh, that's wild. This is what I'm looking at if you guys are curious. Why is there a main.go in your? It's like a WinForm app, but that has a Go. What's the Go for? What's the Go program for? Artwork Studios. Hey, what's up? I also love how you named every form. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 5, Form 6. Very descriptive, Kriv. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a look, Kriv. I'm not a big WinForms guy, so there might not be a ton I can offer you. I've also never played that game. Network bib, yeah, it is official, guys. Steven is going blind. What do you mean? I think some of your messages might not be going through, Network bib. You always accuse me of going blind when I don't read a message. What is Window Kill? I think it's a game. It looks like a game, Artwork Studios. A Steam game. Yeah, it's a pretty niche game. I'm in the credits twice, though. Oh, nice, Kriv. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. It's $5 game. Well, I'm probably not gonna buy that game, but I'll look at your code. You know, probably can't run it, but I'll look at it. Is your program though like a way to cheat at the game? Or like what's the like is it yeah, I guess that's my question, Kriv. Like, did you build this program to allow you to play the game better? It's like a way to hack the game. Artwork Studios. I make mini niche games. Well, that's cool. I mean, I think niche makes sense, right? Especially when you're getting started. It's much easier for people to kind of figure out what it is you do if you niche down what it is you make or create, right? And that's also one of the beauties of the internet too, right? It's like whatever you're interested in, you can find other people who are also interested. Kriv, you can't really cheat. You know how in Minecraft there's a seed system, and if you input the same seed, you get the same world. Yes, I do know that. I am familiar. Stephen Foot? What do you... Just one word. I only want to say one thing. Foot. So the same thing as in Window Kill, but for the challenge mode, the seed determines what items you get. So why do you need to find seeds then? Stefan, installing Foot right now. What does that mean? What is Foot? I don't know what you're talking about. I feel so lost and left out. It's a terminal emulator for Linux. Nice. Kriv, you don't need to. It was just a fun project to learn Go and CUDA. And the 100% speedrun of the game would have been much longer if this didn't exist. Okay, interesting. So, hey, Kriv, that was one of my questions. How come you put a Go program into this? Why not just write it all in C#? Was there a feature in Go that you needed to leverage that you felt like you couldn't leverage in C#? Stefan, although my soul is still empty. Yeah, because I don't have any jokes for you, man. I do not have any jokes. Your soul will have to remain empty. Ah, I see. Fair enough. Network bib. Oh yeah, you said you were gonna send a message, didn't you? Yeah, I mean the stand-up does feel like a waste of time, honestly. I mean, my opinion. I mean, other people probably feel differently. That's why we have it, you know. And when you're a part of a team, you know, you got to participate. You're definitely entitled to your opinions, you know, but like when you work for somebody else, you got to operate in that reality. Abu, what is your favorite language? Right now I'd probably say I would probably say I'm finding the most enjoyment from writing TypeScript. At the moment, it's just the thing with TypeScript is it spans this really nice ability to be flexible and easy to work with, but at the same time providing a good development experience because you can do things, you can get sort of a static type like experience. But C# is great too. It just C#. I feel like I'm slower to iterate in C# than I am in TypeScript. You know, like TypeScript, you can kind of, you can be messy. You know, you can be kind of sloppy as you go, right? And C# I feel like kind of forces you to be disciplined when you're building stuff, and which there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I still. So I guess I shouldn't say I have more enjoyment. I think TypeScript and C# are kind of equivalent for me right now. I think if I'm working on something, trying to learn something, or prototype something, or POC something, I tend to reach for TypeScript. But if I have a very concrete idea, a very concrete thing I want to implement, then I go back to C#. If we're, you know, assuming we're talking about things on the server, right? Criv, so I'm launching main.exe with launch parameters and display whatever that prints to the screen on the WinForms app. Oh, that's pretty wild. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, it's a little hacky, but you know, you do what you gotta do. Network bib. What is TypeScript? It's just JavaScript, yeah, with types, with what Artwork Studio says. Network bib types. Network bib, are you gaslighting us right now? But I mean, if you aren't, types are really just like strongly defined objects, right? Like you say this thing must be a number versus this thing being any, right? In JavaScript, that's the case, right? You never really know what a variable is unless you check what it is, right? There's no inherent guarantee. And TypeScript doesn't really provide a guarantee that something is a number. People, you know, you can write TypeScript in such a way to kind of get around that. So you still have possibilities of runtime issues versus like C#, since it's compiled, right? It provides that guarantee. If I say this thing's a string, it is a string. But not so much in JS or TS land. But that's why I say TypeScript's nice for POC work, because you can sort of you can blend the flexibility of JavaScript with the development experience of TypeScript of static types, and that's a large reason why a lot of JavaScript developers like TypeScript, is because they just get a better development experience out of it, especially for larger projects. Like all the dev tooling you see in VS Code, all of that really is around typing and inference and go to definition, go to declaration, all those types of things that you can do in VS Code with TypeScript or even with JavaScript now is really supported by that idea of being able to type things. See you, Network Bib. Have a nice day. Kriv. My first ever optimization was multi-threading, believe it or not. Second was running on GPU. Third was removing classes. Artwork Studios. I still can't do those. Laugh my ass. Did you gym? No, I did not go gym yet. Have you guys seen that kind of it's kind of a little bit of a meme in the gym sphere on the internet. People say we go gym. We go gym now. I have not. I rode the bike for 45 minutes this morning, so I got a little bit of steady state cardio in, but I still need to lift. That usually happens in the afternoons after kids get home from school these days. Because I've been taking my lunch to stream, so I haven't been lifting during lunch. I've been lifting after work. $45. Yeah, it's not like intense, It's like steady state, like 120 beats per minute. My heart rate's like about 120 beats per minute for about 45 minutes. So it's like zone 2 cardio. But yeah, it's a good way to start the day. Stefan, gotta go buy tuna and cottage cheese. Man, you sound like a real gym bro, Stefan. I don't like tuna that much. I ate a lot of canned chicken when I was in high school. Kind of burnt myself out on canned chicken, but I'm not a big fan of canned tuna. I'll eat cottage cheese, but I don't care for it. Honestly, like I usually will eat it just because it's like a relatively inexpensive form of a high protein food. I do like eggs though. And actually the price last time I went to the store, the price of eggs had come down a little bit, so that's good. But Stefan, your meal there, you sound like a real gym bro. 4 eggs, 2 cans of tuna, cottage cheese. I like it, man. Gains, bro. Gains. Yeah, you got a protein. You got to get the protein. Abu, what are you gonna build today? I'll probably work on that MCP server. I'm gonna get that thing completely to a state where I publish it on npm, and people can just use it as a local MCP server. So I'm gonna work on that. Abu, for devs, some sort of physical activity is highly required. I would agree with that, Abu. And I think, Abu, you're kind of new here, so you don't know, but like my background, I'm not originally a dev. That's, working in tech is something I started like 4 years ago. And before that, I was a personal trainer and owned a gym. And then, that was like when I was in college, and for the first couple years out of college. And then I was a food scientist, but like my whole life since I was 12 years old, I've been lifting weights and been in the gym pretty regularly. So health and fitness has always been a really big part of my life. Elias, bro, you are safe. You CrossFitter. I'm not a CrossFitter, Elias. How dare you call me such a dirty word? I have big feelings about CrossFit. I mean, I think it's done some good stuff, but yeah, there's definitely some things about it that I don't like. Kriv, what games have you played? Kriv, I've played a lot of games over the years. The one I am still stuck on is Call of Duty. I'd like to play the new Assassin's Creed game, but I can't bring myself to spend $60 or $70 on it. Stefan, is Strongman considered CrossFit? I don't think so. I wouldn't put Strongman in CrossFit. Kriv, also, do you have a GitHub? Yeah, I do. Yeah, you can actually just search my name, but here, I'll give you the link. It's just github.com/Steven Freeborn, but I can share you the link. There you go. Oh, shoot. It is 9:58. You know what that means. It's time for the stand-up. Crib, I got it for free from a giveaway. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice, dude. Alright, guys. Well, I'll be back round 2, I think. Hopefully. Like I said, my youngest is at home today, so it's entirely possible my day may not evolve the way I think it will. But if I'm available and there is time and things work out, I'll try to be live again around 2 p.m. Central time to work on that MCP server a little bit more, and y'all are welcome to hang out and join in. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday, or if it's already Thursday for you, have a good rest of your Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.